Alright everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to The King's Speech. So as promised, we're getting into more Yona of the Dawn. We're going to kick it off with Yona of the Dawn, Volume 22. With story and art by Mizuho Kusanagi. We start off with Chapter 124, Thank You for Coming. As we have in Sensui Water Tribe lands, we have Lady Riri. Now, I don't know why my tongue trips over that so much. And she's like, no, I'm done. No more visitors. And Tetra's like, oh, you're not going to see anyone else? But some of our citizens who were captured by Sei are here, as well as their relatives. They're all worried about your health. She's like, I know, it's been non-stop since this morning. And I'm not even the one who saved them. It was Yona's friends, His Majesty, my father, and the other generals. And you see a crowd outside being like, hey, Riri, we'd like your insight. She's like, when people thank me, I don't know how to respond. Tetra's like, well, all that matters is that everyone's back safely. So we need to focus on helping the people who drank too much Nadai and Sei. And you're Tum Tum and Lady Riri, I beg your pardon, but it's like I told you to turn away all visitors. It's like, yes, but King Suwon has come to see you. He's like, hi, Lady Riri. Sorry for dropping by unannounced. And you have a, huh? It's like, your Majesty. He's like, huh? It's like, one moment. Please wait 1 moment. And Suwon's like, huh? Oh my god. And you see Ira behind him pulling out her swords being like, while you wait, permit me to show you the traditional Water Tribe sword dance. And you're just like leaping into the air with their swords. Like, Suwon's like, oh, that's amazing. It's like, is that something we're known for? And you see Tetra kind of quickly just like slapping on some makeup on her Riri. It's like powder lip stain. It's like, hey, Tetra, what? It's like, yeah, it's like, all right, Your Majesty, thank you for waiting. And you see like sparkle as she's been all gussied up. And it's like, sure. It's like, listen, try to act dignified in front of His Majesty. And Riri's like, dignified? I think it's a bit late for that. I've been informal with him to the point of wringing his neck. Suwon's like, how are you feeling now? He's like, oh, I'm fine, thank you. It's like, that's good to hear. It's like, thank you for getting me out of such a dangerous situation in Sei. It's like, no need for that. It's like, I hardly did it on my own. It's like, Tetra told me that just as I was about to be executed, His Majesty and Huck saved me. Under ordinary circumstances, these two would never fight at each other's sides, right? And Suwon's like, there are people outside waiting to see you. It's like, I know, but they're here because they see me as some kind of hero. And they've got it all wrong. It's not like that. It's like, you don't think? They were enslaved and their spirits were broken. Don't you think that seeing a brave girl staring death in the face without losing her will to live gave them new hope? That's what made you a hero in their eyes. Simply saving people wouldn't get this response. The things you didn't say had tremendous impact. And you see her just starting to tear up. And she kind of just turns away. And Suwon's like, Lady Riri? It's like, is that true? Really? The things I did weren't pointless? It's like, do you want me to repeat myself? It's like, that response was way more annoying than I expected. It's like, you're so amusing, Lady Riri. It's like, about that. Could you stop calling me that, please? It's like, sorry, it became a habit. It's like, don't force yourself to be so proper either. Riri, it sounds strange. It's like, but you're the king. I can't be informal with you. It's like, I'm not fussy about it. Just speak naturally. It's like, that can't be okay. It's like, how could it? It's like, you're so amusing, Riri. And she's like, this guy really throws me for a loop. It's like, this man is Yona's enemy. And he's also the person she once loved. Oh my god. And yet I still can't quite see him as an enemy myself. And you see Tetra going, Lady Riri. It's like, what is it? You have a visitor. May I let him in? It's like, of course not. Like, right now His Majesty is. And she looks in shock as Gunte makes an entrance like, Your Majesty, you're here too? It's like, General Gunte, I only just arrived. Sorry for interrupting your time together. I wanted to check on her before heading back to Chishin. It's like, Riri, General Gunte wants to... And you see she's wrapped like a little shawl around herself. She's like, yes? All ladylike. It's like, been a while. Hey, Riri, how are you doing? Is it all right for you to be up? And Suwon's just taken completely aback by her 180 in personality. And she's like, yes? It's like, I'm glad you're doing well. It's like, yes? It's It's like, anyway, you're really something, aren't you? I heard you held out against Nadai and took on Say's soldiers. He's like, well, It's like, that's impressive. You've become a remarkable woman, Riri. It's like, right, your majesty? And Suwon's like, huh? Oh, yes. And she boom, 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 and she's just blushing and steam's shooting out of her. It's like, you're too kind. It's like, what's more, you're usually so demure. It's like, you'd make a great wife, right, your majesty? And Suwon's like, huh? Oh, yes. It's like, but right now, rest up and get your strength back. Don't do anything reckless. It's like, yes. It's like, after all, you could become very important to Koka, right, your majesty? Oh, God. And Suwon's just like, huh? Oh, yes. And he's like, huh? As Gunta just laughing it up. He's like, General, you seem to have the wrong impression. It's like, well, I'm off. You two enjoy yourselves. It's like, I just said it's not like that. He's like, sorry for interrupting. Someone's like, honestly, that man, I wonder how he reached that conclusion. Odd, isn't it, Riri? Riri's just like, getting all dramatic. He's like, Riri's like, oh my gosh, this is bad. So bad. It's terrible. I can't take it. Lord Gunte's so cool. I could just die. He's like, Ira, Tetra, I don't know what to do. Did I act weird? Should I put makeup on my... I should have put on my makeup better. Lord Gunde came to see me after all. It's like, there, you were lovely as lovely as always. It's like, Lord Gunte was so cool, I couldn't even meet his eyes. I should have stared right at him. I wanted to thank him, but I missed my chance. He said I'd make a great wife. I wish he'd married me. And Suwon's just like... It's like, you do know General Gunte is married, don't you? And Riri just gets him and starts strangling him. He's like, yes, I'm aware. He's like, huh? Like, his wife is tremendously cute and kind, isn't she? I met her once. I can tell Lord Gunte truly cares for her. It's like, your name is Riri? That's adorable. Since we belong to neighboring tribes, we should spend time together. Come visit any time. I'll have lots of tasty snacks. It's like, if I were a man, I'd want to marry Yuno. It's like, but I love him anyway. I can't help it. I can't magically change my feelings just because I'll never be with him. And Suwon's like, seems like you've got a lot on your mind. And she just glances at him and goes, I wonder, does he know how Yona felt? He's like, Your Majesty, is there anyone you have feelings for? He's like, huh? Not especially. She's like, really? He's like, I don't think I really understand love, but I do care for people. He's like, is he dodging the question? But he strikes me as a surprisingly honest person. It's like, well, I'll be going. And she tries to like get out of bed. It's like, I'll see you out. It's like, don't trouble yourself. It's like, Yona considers him a dangerous enemy, but I still don't fully understand the situation. I can't reject everything about him. I want to learn more about him for Yona's sake. You see later that night, she's like, I should send Lord Gunte a thank you note, since I couldn't get the words out. And Ira and Tetra are like, Lady Riri, the person you've been waiting for has arrived. He's like, huh? You see the next page, Yona being like, Riri! He's like, Yona! And you see them like dashing each other to give him a hug. It's like, I've been dying to see you. It's like, you seem okay, what a relief. It's like, I'm doing great. Come on, Yona, have you turned into a crybaby since I last saw you? It's like, and you've gotten even cooler, Riri. It's like, how are your injuries healing? Should you be moving about? It's like, I'm fine now. It's like, it feels like everything in Say was so long ago. It's like, it does. It's like, hey, guess what? Something amazing happened today. It's like, oh. It's like, someone I really, really, really love came to see how I was doing. And Yona's like, huh? Someone you love? What's he like? And she's like, it's Lord Gunte. And Yona's like, you know he's married, right? And she just like strangles her again. It's like, I'm aware, thank you. Sometimes people can't help falling in love even if it's one-sided. It's like, yeah, I know. Like, Lord Gunte is just so cool. Anyone would fall in love with him. Yona's like, sure. Like, feels like some distantly related uncle. It's like, today Lord Gunte said I've become a remarkable woman. It's like, that's high praise. Like, it's rather touching. It's like, isn't it? And Yona's like, you know, someone called me the coolest girl he'd ever met. He's like, oh, who was it? And Yona's just like, And then she starts blushing and she's like, Hawk. He's like, what? Hold on, what is this? It's like, you're acting like, do you love him? Are you two a thing? It's like, keep it down, he's right over there waiting for me. It's like, what? He's with you, bring him over here. It's like, Riri is like, we're not a thing. It's like, so, do you love him? And she's just like blushing and stuttering. She's like, probably? It's like, why are you making it sound so impersonal? It's like, because we've been together forever. It seems a little late for this to be happening. I don't really know for sure. It's like, you don't really know? I think we should bring him here and get it all out in the open. You see her just like trying to march away. Yona's like trying to grab onto her. Like, no, Riri, stop! It's like, as for a hug, it's like, Sinha, doesn't all that fluff get hot? So he gets hot sometimes. Like, he's chatting with Sinha. Riri's like, okay, when did you fall in love with him? It's like, I don't know. I mean, he's always meant a lot to me. It's like, I guess I only just realized. It was so sudden. It's like, well, realizing is a good start. Next, you should tell him. It's like, no, I'm not sure about that. I've known him since childhood. We're too familiar. Bringing it up would be too embarrassing. Also, I'm too nervous to speak well. It's like, I know that feeling. It's like, that happens to you too, huh? It's like, of course it does. It's like, I can't take this. It's like, really? It's like, that's kind of cute. Talking with you about this stuff is pretty embarrassing. It's like, it really is. Anyway, if you want me to help at all, just let me know. I could talk to Huck for you. Like, please don't. Yeah, Your Highness, as Huck comes up on them, they're both like, eep! It's like, we should get going soon. It's like, all right, okay. It's like, bye, Riri. It's like, oh, Yona. It's like, come again, okay? As they wave goodbye, it's like, hold on. It's like, Huck? It's like, thank you for saving me at the gallows. It's like, no problem. I'm glad you're safe. It's like, I heard you protected Her Highness. I am deeply grateful. It's like, of course I did. Yona's very important to me. And Huck just smiles. She's like, huh? Looks to me like he likes Yona a lot too. He's like, oh, it's like, just another moment. It's like, Ira, can you get... He's like, yes. He brings him just a nicely big wrapped up box. And Huck's like, whoa. It's like an assortment of food and other necessities. It's like, it's a gift. Take it. He's like, thank you for your hospitality. It's like, and this. And he hands her a smaller bag. It's like, what's this? It's like, those are Yona's things that were stolen in Say. I managed to get them back. I looked inside and saw a really expensive looking hairpin. That belongs to Yona, right? Could you return it to her? Huck's like, I will. Thank you. We get to chapter 125, The Things I Dreamed Of. And you see, is this a flashback? Yeah, I think it's a flashback to teenage Suwon going, Huck, it's been ages. I'm glad you could come to the palace. It's like the old man brought me with him. It's like, I'm heading over to see Yona. Why don't you come too? It's like, I'll pass. It's like, what? How come? I'm sure Yona would be delighted to see you. She loves you a lot. It's like, I seriously doubt that. It's like, what about you, Suwon? It's like, what about me? It's like, do you like Her Highness? It's like, yeah, I do. And I like you, and I like Master Mundok, General Judo, General Gunte, and even General Jungi. Huck's like, that's not what I meant. It's like, people are fascinating, aren't they? And Huck's like, do you like General Sujin too? It's like, yes! His lectures on politics and battle tactics are very interesting. It's like, after hearing my best friend excitedly say that, I tuned out the rest. He was being honest. He really did love all people equally. Except it's not only people. He's equally interested in things. There are lots of people I'm uncomfortable with, and many I can never forgive. It's like, you have a much broader view, don't you? And you see Yun going, oh, morning, Thunder Beast. You're up early. It's like, yeah, Zeno kicked me awake. It's like, I really don't think 5 large men can share that tent. And Yun's like, want to trade with me? And you see sleeps beside Yona, and Huck's just like, I'll pass. That was a long pause. It's like, Yun, here. It's like, huh? Yona's things? You found them? It's like, Riri managed to get them back. Could you return them to Her Highness? It's like, okay, will do. He's like, I'm gonna go pick some wild vegetables. And you see later with an, like Thunder Beast. He's like, huh? It's like, geez, like, what do I do? I dropped Yona's things down a ravine. Oh my god. And you see Huck just dashing off with a, you dropped something, as all the other dragons are far coming up behind him. You see there, a lavender pouch. It's like it's snagged on a tree. It's like, sorry, I guess I didn't secure it properly in my bag. It's like, I feel awful. There's an incredibly beautiful hairpin in there, right? And Huck's like, it'll be fine, don't worry. It's like, don't say anything to Her Highness, we'll get it back. It's like, okay, but why not mention it? If she knew, if she knew, she'd just say that we shouldn't have put ourselves in danger to get it back. It's like, oh, that's true. It's like, but it's something that means a lot to her, isn't it? It's like, yeah, it is. It's definitely important. It's like, Sinha, could you head back and distract Yona? And you see him nodding. He's like, Zeno's with Yona right now. And Jayha's like, now then, how should we grab it? And Gija's like, leave that to me! He just makes a giant dragon arm. He's like, I can't reach. And you see him just like, as they're holding him over the edge, he's trying to reach out with his claws. Like, you're gonna fall. It's like, Jayha, what about your legs? It's like, what about them? It's like, my arm can get quite large, so perhaps if you unleash the power in your leg, it would enlarge or expand as well. And he's like, that would be unsightly and I wouldn't have the footwear to cover it up. It's like, that means you could do it if you wanted to. It's like, what? Take your shoe off. And you see Huck trying to like pull it off. It's like, huh? Wait, what are you? Stop! It's like, let me see. He's like, come on, you guys! You see, and then I'd be like, I've been sullied. Like, you're so frustrating. It's like, he usually strips down so readily, I wouldn't have thought it'd be so hard to remove his shoe. What a troublesome weirdo. Huck's like, I'll climb down. Jay was like, wouldn't it be better if I did that? It's like, the footing's unstable. Even with your legs, you wouldn't be able to leap there. Besides, I need to get that back. And he's like, is that hairpin important to you as well? He's like, no. To be honest, I want to smash it. And they're like, huh? It's like, wait, is that hairpin something King Suwon gave her? And Yona's like, is it? It's like, wait, but then, it's like, why is Yona holding on to it? It's like, back at the Fire Quelling Festival, when I took that hairpin out, Yona looked so horrified. That was, did Yona love King Suwon? And Yona's like, Thunder Beast, don't risk your life over this. I'll be honest with Yona and apologize. And you see Huck just kind of tousling his hair as he starts like smiley making his way down the cliff. He goes, I don't mind that Her Highness loves Suwon. It's not news. I've known for a long time. Suwon, the thing that I find most unforgivable. And he's like reaching out to grab the hairpin. He's like, is the fact that you gave her this hairpin the very day you murdered King Il. And as he's reaching out for the tree, branch wobbles and it's like, ah! And the package drops into the river and you have Huck! As he dives in after it. And you see a flashback to baby Huck again with, oh, so there's Suwon. He's with General Kang Soo-jin of the Fire Tribe. It's like, the general's saying some nasty things to him. I feel bad for Suwon. He's taken aback by how Suwon doesn't seem fazed by this. It's like, people are fascinating, aren't they? It's like, I always knew you had a broad outlook on the world. Power and tribes didn't matter to you. You could view the world so impartially. Even if I couldn't walk alongside you, I was fine with that. There was no turning back with you. You just looked straight ahead to become king. I wanted you to sit on the throne one day, and my wish was granted in the cruelest way possible. It's like, why? Why? It's like, you gave our princess that hairpin, and then turned around and went to kill King Il. If you were planning to kill him, why did you smile at her and give her that gift? Didn't it make you feel anything at all when you saw her, how happy she was? You said you liked people. It meant you don't have any special attachment to anyone. You trample on everything that mattered most dearly to me. When I saw you try to kill Her Highness, I was devastated. It completely shattered my heart. And you see Yona going, huh? You all went and played in the water? He's like, yup. Like, I wish I'd seen that. All of you frolicking in the water? It's like, despite appearances, you're all still children. It's like, the river's so cold, I'll get a fire started. And Yona's like, Thunder Beast, you dolt. You scared the life out of me. You fell into the river and were swept away. He's like, I was lost in thought. Swimming was a pain. It's like, we thought you died. Jayha's like, honestly, could you not do that, Huck? It's like, no one made you jump in after me. It's like, if you'd moved, we wouldn't have. It's like, you were being swept downstream. All we could see was your head. It's like, think of how I feel. I jumped in to save Yuna and Gija after they went after you and slipped at the same time. He's like, huh? Where's the pouch? It's like, oh, it's right. Oh my God. As Gija's is grabbing his dragon hand, you have a crack. He's like, was that a crack sound? He's like, ah, the box is smashed. He's like, Gija, did you break it? And you see him just trembling. He's like, oh, thank goodness the contents are safe. Like, this is bad for my heart. And you see Huck just laughing. He's like, yeah, you guys are such a riot. It's like, who has time to overthink anything? It's like, this is no time to laugh, Huck. It's like, it's all wet. It's like, it'll be fine. I'll wipe it down. It's like, Yona really has gone through so much. When I think of how much pain she endured, I don't want to give this back to her. But I will. It's like, she's the one to decide what to do with it. Don't you agree, Thunder Beast? And you hear, everyone! I've boiled some water, so why don't you get warmed up? And you see an okay. So you have chapter 125 end. We get chapter 126, Pursuers. You have in Kuto Royal Capital, you have Lady Riri, this way! It's like, I've only just finished recovering. Why do we have to head to Hiryu Palace? So because General Jungi has ordered it. He says you'd need to properly thank His Majesty. It's like, I already thanked him when he came to visit me. So His Majesty personally came to see you. You mustn't treat him like just anyone. So isn't His Majesty still busy dealing with Sei? So no need to worry. We're planning to stay in Kuto until granted an audience with him. He's like, what? That aside, King Suwon is rather impressive, isn't he? He hasn't been on the throne long at all, but he's already pulled our nation out of the difficult situation it was in. So because I was kidnapped and taken to Sei, Kushibi was captured. Sei's 3 rulers, Kushibi, Hotsuo, and Kazugumo, had no choice but to accept King Suwon's conditions, and Sei became a vassal state of Koka. Our nation rules theirs now. Since taking back Kin province in South Kai, Koka has been making its presence known to its neighboring nations. King Il acted so meekly toward other nations and tribes. He wasn't a very good king, was he? Not that I'd ever say so to Yona. So, well, fine. If I'm stuck here for a while, I'll take the opportunity to see what King Suwon is like. And then she whips her hair on and is like, Lady Riri? It's like, I just saw His Majesty over there. It's like, I doubt it was him, not by himself. She's like, no, it was him. I'd recognize that soft face anywhere. And Tetra's like, His Majesty really is the exact opposite of what Lady Riri looks for in a man, isn't he? She compared his exquisite face to tofu. It's like Riri's preferences, a man over 35, a wild personality. It's like, I'm going to go take a look. It's like, oh, Lady Riri! And she's following him into the seedier parts of Koka. It's like, Lady Riri! It's like, let's head back. His Majesty would never come to a place like this. It's like, you think? That town that was ravaged by Nadai was gloomier than this. And as she walks into a seedy gambling den, you have a, hey, what business do you have here, young lady? It's like, pardon my directness, but did a tall man in a white cloak come here? It's like, who knows? I couldn't say. And you see one of the guys trying to fondle both Ira and Tetra. It's like, never mind that. Would you ladies like a good time? We can relax over there. You hear Riri just kind of glancing at the look of disdain going, you there, take your hands off Ira and Tetra, or do you want to become eunuchs? And they're like, They're taken aback for a second. We're like, what a spirited girl. Not bad. This one of them tries to reach out for her. Tetra just lashes out and knocks him down with a punch. He's like, you little... And then Ira pulls out her sword and goes, don't move a muscle. It's like, so, you want to see blood fly, do you, little lady? And you hear a, please wait, Ogi. Those people are acquaintances of mine. And you see Suwon all hooded and cloaked coming in. It's like, your man. And he motions for her to be silent. And he goes, you hear, Juan, you idiot. If you know them, why didn't you say so sooner? We nearly got blood everywhere. It's like, my blood. It's like, I'm surprised you didn't start crying, Ogi. It's like, shut up. It's like, most women turn and leave if you bait them like that. Why is she so unflappable? And Suwon's like, threats won't faze her. She's been on the gallows before. She's like, the gallows? It's like, she's a criminal? What sort of evil deeds? It's like, I stabbed a soldier and escaped. And Ogi's like, whoa, don't mess with her. It's like, typical of you, Juan. You know all sorts of people. And he's like, it's all right. The people here look scary, but they're good-natured. They just don't want any outsiders coming here. And Riri's like, so, what brings you to these back alleys, Master Juan? It's like, could you not use titles here? And she just whispers to him, I'll tell General Judo. It's like, I'm keeping an ear to the ground. It's like, for dirty information? It's like, no. You see the others apologizing to Ira and Tetra. It's like, you sure are strong, lady. He's like, I don't enjoy being complimented on that. And he's like, I'll ask around. Suwon's like, please leave. And she's like, if it's smutty information, I will. He's like, it's smutty information. It's like, he's remarkably pure-hearted. It's like, well, I'm going to report back to Judo that Master Juan is some shady place to gather smutty information. He's like, greedy. It's like, honestly, you're incorrigible, aren't you? It's like, I promise not to tell anyone what I see or hear, Juan. And Ogi's like, hold on a second, miss. My information has a price. Don't think you can learn something for free. And God, Riri's like, Tetra. It's like, coming. And she just drops a pile of money in front of him. He's like, thank you kindly. It's like, Juan, who is this young lady? Is she your woman? Both Sue and Riri are like, no, it's not like that. It's like, you sure I can trust her? It's like, she's a nuisance, but yeah, you can. It's like, So besides, oh, you already took her money. It's like, where was I? The traffickers from Say. It's like, oh, right. Well, the Nadai traffickers in Say have all started to go into hiding. And Riri's like, Nadai? It's like, Nadai is difficult to obtain right now, but there are several slang terms and countersigns. One of them is, Riri's like, he's definitely picking up secret information that's unavailable at the palace. This is how he's been able to figure out the best way to handle things so quickly. It's like, by the way, there's a rumor that's been going around. It's like, about what? The 4 dragon warriors have been seen on the battlefield. Do you know about that? And Suwon's like, if I'm not mistaken, they're the warriors from the founding myth, right? But that's just a story. It's like, I don't seriously believe it either. But there are sightings of those monsters from all across Koka. The most interesting part is that people say a red-haired girl's with them. She's like the Crimson Dragon King from the legends. There are a lot of folks in the Fire Tribe who worship the Crimson Dragon King. Some of them are searching for her to catch a glimpse. And Riri's like, that's your wand? He's like, oh, yes? So that's fascinating. Well, rumors tend to be exaggerated. It's not important. So that's true. It's like, actually, I'd like to hear about the Wind Tribe of the nation of Xing. It's like, Juan, listen to my story too. It's like, shut up, you drunk. And you see later then, it's like, well then, I'll be off now. He's like, what? Ira Tetra, you're leaving us? And the other guys are crying. He's like, tee, sorry to disappoint you. And Ogi's like, don't cry, it's embarrassing. Like, sorry about that, Juan. It's like, huh? It's like, you wanted some information on Xing, right? I'll find out what I can for next time. It's like, you're the best, Ogi, I'm counting on you. And he kind of just waves him off. And as they're walking away, Riri's like, I wouldn't have expected you to have acquaintances like that. It's like, I learned a lot from them when I was little. It's like, what did they teach you? It's like, I haven't taken a friend there since I was 9. She's like, hey, that rumor Ogi was talking about, that was Yona and her friends, right? I think you already know that she's my friend. She's very important to me. Do you have any intention of chasing her down? You plan to kill her, do you? Is it possible that you want Yona to live? And he just kind of silences her with a hand over the mouth. And he goes, your determination and bravery are praiseworthy, but you shouldn't speak that name in this palace. So would you talk about her if it weren't the palace? And he goes, I have nothing to tell you. And he just walks away. And we pick up with Huck going, Princess, are your legs holding up? And you see that Yona's looking winded. She's like, yes. Like, I'm fine. She tries to stand up straight, and then she just flops over into Huck. He's like, see? It's like, what did that prove? Want me to carry you? He's like, no thanks. Yeah, Thunder Beast. We've been walking along the border of Say this whole time. Do you think we've reached Wind Tribe territory? It's like, yeah, we might be at the outskirts. So the Wind Tribe, the land where you were raised, right, Huck? So there must be lots of beautiful girls in your hometown. It'd be great if you introduced me to some of them. And Huck just like, we're not going to Fuga. If we are in Wind Tribe lands, then we're not near Say anymore. You hear, it's like Sinha. It's like, yes, someone is watching us. It's like, are they over there? You see someone taking off with a dash, and Jeha takes off with a leap and lands in front of them, cutting off their escape route. And he goes, hello there. Did you want something from us? And you see that he's wearing like a half face mask. And you see Gita taking up a defensive stand behind Jeha as he pulls out his dragon claw. And you see that they're surrounded by people. It's like, what's going on? There are more eyes on us than I thought. It's like, who are you people? And you see, we've come from the nation of Xing. It's like, from Xing? It's like, are you the monsters from Koka? And you have, they're from Xing. So what are people from Xing doing here? You have chapter 127, the Princess of Xing. It's like, you appear out of nowhere and ask for monsters? That's just rude. How could you say that to exquisite people like us? It's like, are you the beautiful monsters? And Jeha's like, you called? He's like, oh, now you're happy? It's like, even if we are beautiful monsters, like, what do you want with us? Oh, God, I do not trust this guy. Whenever you have someone with squinty eyes like this, they are always untrustworthy. But you see him making a way down as the Huck's like, that guy seems different than the rest. Oh, my God. And they immediately just both kowtow and like, we surrender! And they're like, huh? What? Wait a second. It's like, we surrender! It's like, we didn't do anything, so why are you surrendering? And they're like, white flags! It's like, sure, great, but why? And Squinty Eyes like, I beg your pardon. Oh my god. My name is Voldo. I serve Princess Tao, the second princess of Xing. He's like, what? A princess of Xing? Isn't that a huge deal? He's like, I don't trust anything said by people who hide their faces. You see, Eep, look at that! The rumors are true. There really are monsters in Coca. The monsters truly exist. As I see Gija and his giant dragon hand. Like, well, we've never even been to Xing. Why would those rumors be spreading there? It's like people from our nation were taken as slaves to construct forts and say. Those who returned spread the stories. We've all heard tales of a white-haired goblin. Of a white-haired goblin who carves the air with his massive claws, as well as a flying goblin with grass growing from his head. And Gija's like, really? I don't remember seeing that. And Jay's like, he's talking about you, Gija. And Huck's like, and you, flying goblin. It's like, if true, such power would be in the realm of the gods. We came to Coca to search for you and learn the truth for ourselves. It's like, so we're famous now, Jay's like, well, you found us. What's your next move? And Voldo's like, would you be willing to meet with Princess Tao? And Gija flat out's like, we refuse. And Jay's like, right, then you're dismissed. And Xeno's like, White Dragon sure makes quick decisions. It's like, we're not some side show to amuse the powerful. Voldo's like, our request is sudden, so it's unsurprising that you understand our intentions. But our princess is not looking for amusement. She won't harm you either. It's like, that sounds more fishy, not less. He's like, please, we're short on time. And Voldo takes off his mask. And he goes, for the futures of both Xing and Coca, we implore you to meet our princess. And you see the nation of Xing. It lies to the south of the Wind Tribe territories, and neighbors say, the climate is temperate and there are plenty of resources. However, diplomatic relations with Coca have ceased. Not many people from Coca know what's happening within Xing these days. So you see Sansan, a town near the Xing border. It's like, Sinha, isn't that hot? It's like, it's stuffy. It's like, don't look around too much. Try to pretend you're citizens of Xing. Small town or not, it would be dangerous if anyone here realized you're from Coca. And Yun's like, then maybe you shouldn't have brought us here. It's like, thanks for carrying our things. And you hear a bong, 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 bong. It's like, Lord Koshibi flew into a panic. His fort was in ruins. The girl he planned to execute had escaped. And his subordinate's terror was escalating. And you see someone putting on a puppet show. Yuna's like, it's like a performance about the battle at Koshibi's fort? So that's why people are talking about the 4 dragon warriors. So then a white goblin from Coco appeared with sharp claws as sharp as blades. And you see him just pulling out this fluffy white kitten. And I was like, meow, 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 meow. And he was like, that's so cute. And they're all just doing a spit take as Gija's like, huh? Is that me? Like, it seems so. It's like the goblin tore into Koshibi's soldiers one by one, wounding them badly. Before long, he freed the captured slaves. But the cheeky white goblin wasn't done just yet. And you're, meow, meow. It's like, how was that me? And you see the others just losing it with like, it's totally you. It's like, you there, stop at once. It's like, what kind of show is this? I don't like that you're talking about monsters from Coca like some kind of heroes. Are you defying the Princess Corin? It's like, no, that's not my intention at all. I'm depicting the battle of Koshibi's fort. It has nothing to do with Princess Corin. It's like, shut up. Talking about any Coca victories will lower the morale of Xing. And Yun's like, how's that now? It's like, if you had any pride in Xing, you'd tell a story about, as he catches the little cat, is crushing this monster from Coca. Now as he's about to hurl it, you see another pretty boy with a long ponytail coming in with a kick to the face as a wham. As he rescues the kitten and goes, there, you're safe now. It's like, move your foot, you bastard. He's like, huh? Enjoy the afterlife, you scum, as he sends the guy flying. So the thought of taking pride in a nation where they throw kitties makes me fluke. And Yun's like, does he mean puke? And as he's handing the kitten back to the performer, he glances over at Yona. Oh my god, and he starts blushing. And he just zooms in on Al, who's looking all cute, like nibbling on a chestnut. It's like, what are you? It's like, don't look at me, you're just too cute. He's like, so tiny, such a tiny kitty. It's like, for cute? What a strange noise, how could you be real? And Yona's like, she's a squirrel, not a cat. It's like, huh? It's like, whoa, who are you people? It's like, I don't know you. And you hear, Algira, you're making a scene in town again. how many times have I told you not to draw attention to yourself? And you see Voldo just squaring off against him. It's like, yeah, considering that a kitty was in danger, I think I was very restrained, Volt, dummy. It's like, I know you can't help being an idiot, but don't make things harder for me, Algidiot. It's like, as always, your mood is awful. Why don't you cuddle a kitty and soften that heart of yours? You have an, who's this? And you see, beg your pardon, this is Algira, my colleague. It's like, hey, what's that Pukyu kitty? And Voldo's like, I don't know any Pukyu kitty, but I bought the goblins of Coca. It's like, really? Are they strong? And Gija's like, we're not goblins, we're the 4 dragon warriors, and we're not cats. And Voldo's like, I was thinking we'd head to Tochi Valley. It's like, I see. Alright, come with me. And, curses! I'll report him to Princess Corin. It's like, better not, that's Algira. It's like, the traitor princess's dog. It's like, don't worry, Princess Corin will bring them to heel eventually. Princess Corin will surely defeat Coca and protect our nation. It's like, that's right. Death to the monsters! Death! Raze Coca to the ground! Destroy it! And Yona's taken aback by like their sentiment. As you see, Tochi Valley. You have, this is Princess Tao's private residence. And Yona's kind of looking a little uncomfortable, I guess. Gija's like, he'll be fine. I'll be fine, Your Highness. So he's right, Yona. We're used to being targeted, and if anything happens, we'll leave immediately. It's like riding Green Dragon to safety. It's like, I can only carry so many. Yona's like, okay, we need to be careful. And you see, Algira, Voldo, are these friends of yours? And you see the princess is like a tiny slip of a girl that's playing with a bunch of kittens. And he's like, I've just returned, Princess Tao. It's like, Princess Tao? It's like, we shouldn't bring our friends here. It's like, these are the goblins from Coca you wanted to meet. The 4 dragons. It's like, what? It's like, oh, come on. What are you saying, Algira? It's like, I'm telling you, they're the goblins of Coca. He's like, what? You're fibbing, aren't you? It's like, when have I ever lied to you? It's like, never, never. I'm sorry, but I wasn't expecting this. It's like, I said I wanted to meet them, but I didn't tell you go get them. And he's like, what's the big deal? Since they're here, just tell them what you want. And Yun's like, this seems as unexpected for her as for us. And Yona's like, we came because we heard it involves the future of both of our nations. Did I misunderstand? And you can see that the princess has absolutely no idea how to respond. She just gets a huge platter of fruit, and she's like, would you like something to eat? He's like, oh no, I made some offhand comments without thinking whether or not it would inconvenience anyone. And now this girl who's as cute as a kitten is mixed up in all this. And he's like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. It's like, a kitten, huh? It's like, what are you trying to say, Huck? And Voldo's like, you're a princess of Xing. You mustn't be so self-effacing. It's like, I'm sorry. So you shouldn't apologize either. It's like, okay. Voldo's like, besides, you'd never give orders for trivial reasons. That's why I bought them. It's like, thank you very much, Voldo. It's like, I'm pleased to meet you, people of Coca. Sorry for not greeting you sooner. I am Tao, 2nd Princess of Xing. It's like, why aren't you... Jaeha's like, what? Aren't you interested in our powers? It's like, not at all. The reason I wish to meet you was because of your abilities. But first, I must tell you about this peril facing this nation. And Yona's like, I heard the name Corin mentioned in town. Does it have something to do with her? So Corin is the first princess of this nation, the rightful heir to the throne, my older sister. She's planning to unite this nation to launch a war against Coca. And she's like, what? It's like, Xing is currently divided between 2 factions. One is my sister's pro-war faction, and the other... Oh, no, Huck's like, and the other? It's like, the other is mine. I wish for Xing to become a vassal of Coca. So you have chapter 128, Opposition. And Yona's like, you want Xing to become a vassal of Coca? And Yona's like, that's quite a bold statement coming from a princess of Xing. So King Suwon of Coca was victorious in his recent battle against Sei. And before that, he gained control of Qin province in South Kai. He even defeated Ri Hazara's troops from North Kai. What do you suppose his next target must be? And, it's like Waldo or Huck? That's Huck going, the nation of Xing. It's like, I had a feeling that was the scenario. Suwon is trying to take control of Sei and Xing in order to make Coca stronger than any other nation. He wants to ensure that no one can invade our country. It's like, so that's why Princess Corin is trying to rally troops against Coca. It's like, my sister takes great pride in being Princess of Xing. I can't imagine she would ever stand for a foreign nation encroaching on our country. She'd rather launch an all-out attack to preserve the dignity of this nation, even if it cost her her life. But the fact is, Xing's current military strength has no chance of matching Koka's. No matter how determined she is, no matter how noble her ideals are, that's the truth of it. We lie between Koka and Sei, which is now a vassal state of Koka's. If we start a war against them, Xing and his people will surely be destroyed. I don't want to enter a war that will sacrifice so many of our people's lives. I believe our only option is to surrender to Koka. And Jeha goes, that explains why they surrendered as soon as they saw us. And Yun's like, but why did you want to tell us all that? We're just ordinary citizens of Koka. He's like, what? You don't serve King Suwon? So what made you think that? Like, I heard that you fought alongside King Suwon at Hotsuma and Kushibi's forts. And Huck's like, we didn't fight alongside him. We happened to want the same outcome. She's like, oh, I see. But aren't you acquainted with him? Do you know what he's like? I wanted to find that out. And he's like, we have no idea what that king is thinking. And the mood is just gone like, all the mood and the spirit's been dampened. You're, hey, Princess Tao, the kitties sure say they're hungry. Why don't we have dinner? It's like, you're right, I'm so sorry. I spent all my time chatting with our guests. I'll get a meal prepared. Yun's like, oh, you don't have to. And Zeno's like, that sounds great. And you see, thank you for waiting, as you see like a little feast prepared for them. Like, don't hold back. Please eat your fill. It's like, thank you for all this. And you see a gobble, 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 gobble. As Sinha's just gulping down his food. And Algira staring at him, going like, you eat with your eyes covered? And as he's just scarfing the food down, Sinha just nods. He's like, a big Pekiu kitty and a small Pekiu kitty. As he's watching Sinha just stuff his cheeks with food. He's like, want some? As he shovels more food, he's like, what's your name? It's like, Sinha. It's like, Sinha kitty. And Yona's like, oh, it looks really delicious, but my stomach kind of hurts today. Come. Oh, boy. Oh, Lord. Come to think of it, I've been feeling sluggish since yesterday. It's like, I'm going to the bathroom. And as she stands up, she sees blood dripping down her legs. And she gets mortified and just drops to her knees. It's like, no way! And he's like, Huck's like, Your Highness? What's the matter? It's like, what? Really? At a time like this? And Huck's like, you don't look so good. She's like, don't come near me! It's like, well, sorry for going near you. She's like, oh, it's not like that. It really hurts. And Jeha's like, Yona? It's like, what's the matter? Are you all right? And Tao seems to know what's happening. She just grabs the tablecloth and just yanks it out. And you have, what? It's like, Princess Tao? And she goes and wraps around Yona. She goes, it's Yona's bedtime, so she's going to get some rest. Everyone, please keep eating. And she just scampers off with her. It's like, keep eating, she says. Like, yeah. And you see later, it's like, Yona, are you all right? It's like, I'm fine. It's like, you're in pain, aren't you? You mustn't overexert yourself. Please rest until things settle down. And she's like, thank you. It's like, I whacked Huck without thinking. I wonder if he's mad. And it's like, Huck's even more confused. Like, I figured she didn't have feelings for me, but does she actually dislike me? It's like, thank you so much, Princess Tao. You even let me some clothes. It's like, it's fine. Think of it as a gift. Sure is tough for girls when this happens, isn't it? And Yona's like, I'm usually fine. I don't tend to have pain from this. I wonder if I'm getting careless. It's like, I feel so embarrassed. So there's nothing wrong with that. It's like, I'm glad I could be of help. Yona's like, there hasn't been anyone I could talk to about this while I've been traveling. So there aren't very many servants here, are there? And she's like, this is kind of my hideout. It's close to Koka, so it's easy to gather information. And Yona's like, is it all right having people from Koka here? So I'm sure I have nothing to worry about from any of you. So did you know that some of my nation's people were taken as slaves to construct those forts in Sei? And Yona's like, yes. Like, one of them was my attendant. She was kidnapped on her way to town. The conditions of the forts were horrible, but just when she feared truly losing her mind there, a white monster appeared and saved her. And you think, she thinks back to Yija asking her, are you all right? So the man quickly moved on. He was pale and beautiful, unlike anyone she'd seen before. She thought he might be an angel. And Yona's like, that was Gija, wasn't it? It's like, Gija's pretty cool, huh? And so beautiful. It's like, yes, that must be him, right? I knew it as soon as I saw him. So I'm glad to know he really exists. It's like, meanwhile, Gija's like, Huck, this is still fine to eat. Want some? It's like, you sure have changed, White Snake. So there was a time when Gija would never have eaten something that had fallen on the floor. And Tao's like, that's the main reason I wanted to see you, to thank you on her behalf. Also, I assumed you're working under King Suon. That made me think that perhaps King Suon has someone who wouldn't ignore a subject's dignity. I had hoped to confer with him before my elder sister took action. And Yona's like, King Suon is... It's like, Like, Suon might listen to Princess Tao, but I have no way of contacting him. It's like, Yona? It's like, it's nothing. I was just thinking how pragmatic you are for someone so young. It's like, I know how I look, but I'm 19. He's like, what? You're older than me? I'm sorry. It's like, it's fine. It's like, I use my looks to my advantage. It's like, what a cute person. And you see later that night, it's like, I'll go out for some night air. And I just kind of just stargazing. It's like, how pretty. It's like, Xing is a very beautiful place, isn't it? Seems so peaceful. How awful to think it could become a battlefield. It's like, and then she's like, a dark silhouette. You see someone's shadow nearby. Someone's lurching. It's like, who's there? And you hear, die, Princess Tao! Someone comes rushing towards her with a sword. And Huck comes in, Huck to the rescue as he blocks the sword with his glaive. And he slashes down the assassin with a gah! He's like, you okay? He's like, yeah. And as they're exchanging glances, Huck just like backs off, like, sorry for going near you. It's like, oh, I still hung up on earlier. It's like, I didn't mean it like that. And you see Owl coming to the rescue, just riding on a cat. As you see a yeah and a gah as another assassin gets taken down. And Jaeha's like, come on now. Stop flirting or you're going to get killed, Huck. And he's like, oh, did it seem like we're having fun? It's like, she's mad at me right now. And Yona's like, I'm not mad. It's like, he's really got it bad. It's like, Your Highness, are you all right? It's like, yes. Like, so who are these guys? They thought I was Princess Tao and tried to kill me. And you see Sinha going, they aren't here alone. Several people have entered the valley. And Yona's like, where's Princess Tao? She's in danger. And you see the next stage is Tao sleepily waking up as you have chapter 129 sneak attacking. Like, who? It's like, Princess Tao! Where's Princess Tao? And Voldo's like, what's going on? It's like, Voldo! Some people have snuck into the valley. Princess Tao is in danger! And you hear a rustle as you see some more shadowy figures. Like, seems like they're attacking en masse. It's like, there are more over there. It's like, Voldo, leave this to us and go to Tao. It's like, huh? It's like, that's Princess Tao to you? It's like, there are so many of them. It's like, Voldo, who did you think when we were when you brought us here? It's like, that's right. We're the beautiful monsters of Koka. And Gito's like, the 4 dragon warriors. Fine, what he said. And you see the assailants being like, the 4 dragons of Koka? It's like, look at those white claws. And Yona's like, Voldo, they can handle things here. We need to find Princess Tao right away. It's like, right. And as they're running away, he says Voldo's just watching dragons in action. And he's taken aback by their efficiency. And Huck's like, who are the people attacking us? Is this about the factions? Voldo's like, yes, they're probably from the pro-war faction. They may have followed us from town earlier. It's like, is Princess Corin trying to assassinate Princess Tao? It's like, there are many who loathe Princess Tao's ideas. We can't be sure that they're all following Princess Corin's orders. So Her Highness is in the back bedroom. You have Princess Tao! Oh. And you see one of the soldiers standing over the bed. As you have, oh, why, if it isn't Sir Voldo. It's like, Mizari. It's like, you're too late. Poor Princess Tao. Look, she's trembling. It's like, offering her final prayers as he drags his sword up. And you see with a foosh as the blanket just gets thrown up. And you have a, hey there, Mizari. Attacking someone in their sleep? Such boorish behavior. And you see Algira's been hiding under the covers with a bunch of kittens. Voldo's like, you're one to talk. What's with the cats, Algira? I've always dreamed about cuddling cats in bed. It's like, you do that all the time. It's like, Algira, sir? It's like, I thought this was Princess Tao's bedroom. Where is she? It's like, I got Her Highness out of here, scumbag. Your stealth tactics leave a lot to be desired. It's like, friend of yours? It's like, hardly. It's like, don't be mean. We were among the 5 stars together. It's like, the 5 stars? It's like, it is a title granted to exceptional practitioners of the martial arts. Of the 5, Algira and I serve Princess Tao. Mizari there is one of 3 working for Princess Corin. It's like, huh? Those people aren't from Xing. Are they from Koka? So Princess Tao is finally contacting people from Koka, is she? That won't do. I'll kill you so I can hurry and find our wayward princess. And as he slashes, Algira just kind of jumps over it and then ducks down. And the next one, he just lashes out with a kick and just smacks, what the hell was his name? Mizari in the face, and he just broke his nose, like gushing blood. And as he sways and tries to slash out with his sword again, Algira ducks under and goes, "You're better than I thought. I didn't expect you to be able to take that." He just punches him in the gut and sends him flying with a thwud. And Huck's like, "Nice punch." And as he's coughing up blood, he's like, "Drat! I thought I could take you on if you're unarmed." And Volo's like, "Don't get cocky just because you're among the 5 stars, Mizari. I'm the only one in this nation who can stop that idiot." He's like, "Don't make me laugh, Vol dummy. When have you ever stopped me?" It's like, "I can if I get serious, I'll idiot." And Mizari's like, "Did you think I came to face you without a plan?" And you see a smash, and you see this giant guy smashing his fist into the floor. It's like, "Mizari," he's like, "one of your subordinates?" It's like, "I knew I'd be facing you pro, so I decided to go all out." You're, "Hey, run you two," as the giant heads towards Huck. And Huck just effortlessly cuts him down. And the other's like, you! And Huck just shoves Yona out of the way. He's like, "Huck!" Like, "Sorry." He's like, "I'll end this fast." And he just lashes out with his glaive. And he cuts him down. And he gets it stuck in one of the support beams. Like, "You fool! That's what you get for swinging that thing in here." Like, "Oops, it's stuck." And with that tug, he just effortlessly brings it out and slashes down another one. Like, "Who is that guy?" And Yona's like, "Huck." It's like, "I can smell oil." It's like, "Mizari, what the heck did you do?" It's like, "You said Princess Tao would escape, didn't you, Sir Algira? But I think she's still somewhere inside. If you don't hurry..." You see one of them dropping a torch. It's like, "This nice warm fire will swallow her up." It's like, "You filth!" It's like, "Algira!" It's like, "I'll handle him. Hurry to Princess Tao." Huck's like, "I'll take care of these guys. Get moving." It's like, "Thanks, Huck Kitty." God. He's like, "Kitty?" And you see the outside, Zeno's like, Zeno notices something. And Yona's like, "What is it, Zeno?" "Something's burning. Zeno will check it out. Stay put." It's like, "Oh, Zeno!" You see a crackle. As you see Princess Tao's in one of the other rooms surrounded by fire. And so our 2 bodyguards like, "Princess Tao, the fire's so huge." It's like, "Let's go. It can't be more dangerous than this outside." He's like, "If I die here, a terrible number of people will be engulfed by flames of a different sort." You see, as she's coughing through the flames, you see a "Foom, and I found you!" As Zeno comes to the rescue. It's like, "Zeno, what?" It's like, "Your Highness, thank goodness." It's like, "You mustn't be here. Head back immediately." It's like, "Princess, the building is about to collapse." As one of the beams drops down, you see Zeno kind of like coming in to defend her, so the beams hit him. And he's like, "Ah!" It's like, Zeno's like, "Don't stand there, go!" It's like, "Before it collapses." It's like, "I can't." It's like, "Don't worry. I may be weak, but fire will make me stronger." It's like, "I'm regenerating so slowly." You see the dragon scale starting to appear on his arm. It's like, "This far from Hiryu Palace." It's like, "What are you saying?" It's like, "It's fine. This won't kill me. This is what the yellow dragon's body is made for." You can see how horrified her bodyguards are looking. It's like, "This building is coming down. I'll brace the beam until you're out." It's like, "Send your strength, Hiryu Palace." "Jeff, Princess Tao!" As Algira's coming into the rescue, he's like, "Algira!" And you see Zeno just surrounded by flame as he's like holding up the pillar. Chapter 129 end. It's a hell of a way to end that volume. So I guess quick thoughts on this as we wrap it up. Again, I'm loving the slow burn kind of development of the romance between Huck and Yona. And I love that Yona, such a teenage girl, and just kind of like freaking out, like discussing her romance with Riri and the others. I appreciate that, she is having like friends that she can kind of like talk about and discuss this with. That was really adorable. I love how Huck is just like so clueless and tuned out that he can't, like, you know what, again, I relate to this fact because I am equally as dense as he is. But it's amusing to see like how he's absolutely not picking up on any of the hints that Yona's been dropping, and he just thinks, it's just like general awkwardness, and she just doesn't want to like be around him. So I'm looking forward to seeing more development with regards to that. Riri having a crush on Gunte. I'm not sure if we knew that before. That's been a more recent development, but that was amusing. Especially with him like winking at Suwon and be like, hey, I'm giving you Lovebird some free time. Like, while just completely missing how she's reacting towards him. So that was really some good amusing comedy bits. We're getting again like a little more like emphasis on the relation, like emphasis and callbacks to like the relationships between Huck and Suwon. It feels to me like Suwon is potentially being ace coded the way he's being written, but I might just be reading too much into stuff. But I'm curious if we're going to eventually get some more development with regards to him, because I think it's been a while. I think we haven't really gotten any significant stuff with him, I think, since the mock battles he set up in Hiryu Palace. So I'm really curious to see what developments and stuff we're going to get with regards to him, especially because, you know, Yona and Huck are like, you know, we think we knew him, but we didn't really know what he's like. Blah, blah, blah. Like, he's shaded, like, surrounded by so much mystery and, like, intrigue. So I'm hoping to get some more insight into his character and, like, what drives him, like, what his motivations and stuff are. Because, again, like, because there's a whole thing, like, Rhea being like, oh, you know, is he really a villain? Like, all that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, it's the whole, up to this point, it's like, all right, he's obviously not a villain, despite, like, you know, his general reputation with, like, oh, you know, he's going to annex these lands and stuff like that. So I'm hoping this arc particularly is going to dive a little bit more into that, and is going to give us a little bit more depth and nuance with regards to his character. So I think that's what I'm the most intrigued about with regards to that. Apart from that, this is starting out much better than the conflict with Sei was being set up with. Again, it feels like the Nadai stuff is being glossed over a little bit too easily. Like, it feels like, alright, it's going to be a longer term plot point than I'd imagined, but again, it feels like they don't really know how to handle it particularly well, but we'll see how that concludes if and when it does. But yeah, setting up a lot more pieces in this chapter. I'm looking forward to it. So it feels like it's obviously now with Riri being at Hiryu Palace, this feels like it's setting up for her to be kind of like the middleman, broker, whatever you want to say, between Yona and Suwon at the palace, to kind of like open up negotiations, as it were. So that should also be an interesting new kind of dynamic to look forward to. But yeah, honestly, this volume is a much stronger start, I think, on a couple of previous ones. So hopefully it carries that momentum forward. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, so as always, thank you all for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Pressing those buttons really helps me out with YouTube's algorithm, because it helps the algorithm to learn or know or realize that my videos are worth promoting, and it helps me reach a wider audience. So if you'd like to help me do that, as I said, I'm going to try to be more consistent with videos this year, and I want to reach a wider audience. So any help with that would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, so look forward to a couple more Yona volumes coming tomorrow. And until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.